Have you ever felt that inexplicable tension in your hip area, that heavy sensation that seems to pull you down, even when your mind wants to move forward? What if I told you there's a deep muscle in your body that might be storing all your unresolved traumas, fears, and anxieties? The psoas muscle is known by many therapists as the muscle of the soul. Jung's concepts of the unconscious and the shadows that dwell within it offer us a valuable perspective for understanding the relationship between body and mind. Modern medicine is finally discovering what ancient traditions have always known. Our bodies store memories that our conscious minds prefer to forget. In this video, I'll reveal how a single movement can release years of stored trauma, transforming not only your body, but your entire psyche. Your body is an incredible storyteller. Long before you find the words to express what troubles you, your body has already begun to speak. Deep inside your core, connecting your lower spine to your legs, lies a powerful muscle that few people talk about. Yet it impacts nearly everything you do. The psoas muscle doesn't just help you walk or stand upright, it may also be where your body stores some of its deepest emotional wounds. Think about the last time you felt truly afraid. Did you notice how your body instinctively curled forward? This primal response to protect your soft belly and vital organs activates your psoas muscle. When danger passes, your body should naturally release this tension. But in our modern world, where stresses come in waves that never quite recede, this muscle rarely gets the chance to fully relax. The psoas sits right at the center of your fight or flight response. When you feel threatened, this muscle tightens, preparing you to run or defend yourself. It's a brilliant survival mechanism that has kept humans alive for thousands of years. But here's what happens in our modern lives. The threats we face rarely require physical action. Instead of running from a predator, you're sitting in traffic, worrying about bills or navigating difficult relationships. Your psoas tightens, but you never complete the physical response it's preparing for. Over time, this muscle becomes a storage facility for incomplete stress responses, moments when your body prepared for action but never got to finish the cycle. This is where trauma begins to live in the body. Each unprocessed emotional event leaves its mark, creating patterns of tension that can last for years or even decades. The emotional connection to this muscle runs incredibly deep. Located near your diaphragm, the psoas influences your breathing patterns. When it's chronically tight, your breath becomes shallow, feeding anxiety and reinforcing feelings of unease. It's a vicious cycle. Emotional stress tightens the psoas. A tight psoas restricts breathing, and restricted breathing increases stress. What makes this muscle so special in terms of emotional storage? The psoas connects to the diaphragm through connective tissue called fascia, which also links to your autonomic nervous system, the system that governs your unconscious bodily functions and emotional responses. This is why emotions can get trapped here more than in other muscles. Your psoas doesn't judge what you've been through. It simply responds, contracts, and holds. Childhood disappointments, heartbreaks, accidents, surgeries, betrayals, all these experiences can leave their mark here. Even witnessing traumatic events can register in this muscle, as your body prepares for a danger that may never directly threaten you. The concept of the body holding emotional memory aligns with observations about how humans process difficult experiences. When something overwhelms us, our nervous system can't process it fully in the moment. These incomplete experiences become stored not just in our memories, but in our physical tissues. The body remembers what the mind tries to forget. This understanding bridges ancient wisdom and modern psychology. Traditional healing practices across cultures have long recognized the connection between physical positions, emotional release, and spiritual healing. These traditions intuitively understood what science now confirms, that our inner emotional world and physical body are not separate entities, but deeply interconnected systems. As we explore this connection, remember that this isn't about blaming yourself for holding on to past hurts. Your body did exactly what it needed to do to protect you. The tension in your psoas was once a solution, not a problem. It helped you survive moments that might otherwise have been too much to bear. Recognizing this tension now isn't about finding fault. It's about acknowledging that what once protected you might now be limiting you. By becoming aware of this silent guardian within you, you take the first step toward releasing what no longer serves you. Understanding that your body holds wisdom about your emotional life opens the door to a more integrated approach to healing, one that honors both your physical sensations and your emotional experiences as equally valid sources of information about your well-being. The relationship between our physical bodies and our inner emotional landscapes fascinated Carl Jung throughout his career. While he didn't specifically study the psoas muscle, his pioneering work on the unconscious mind gives us valuable insights into how our bodies might store emotional experiences. Jung recognized that the unconscious mind communicates through symbols, dreams, and physical sensations. He observed that emotional content that isn't fully processed doesn't simply disappear. It finds other ways to express itself. This understanding helps explain why unaddressed trauma might manifest as physical tension, particularly in a core muscle like the psoas that's so intimately connected with our survival responses. One of Jung's most powerful contributions was his concept of the shadow, those parts of ourselves that we repress or deny. These denied aspects don't vanish, they simply go underground, influencing us in ways we often don't recognize. The physical parallel to this psychological process might be found in how our bodies hold tension in places we can't easily see or access, like the deep-lying psoas muscle. Jung believed in the importance of making the unconscious conscious, bringing awareness to what has been hidden. Similarly, bringing awareness to the physical tensions we carry is a crucial first step in releasing them. Just as Jung encouraged facing our psychological shadows, turning attention to the physical manifestations of our emotional history allows us to begin the process of integration and healing. The wisdom of the body was something Jung respected deeply. He understood that our physical sensations often carry messages from parts of ourselves that our conscious mind hasn't yet acknowledged. Learning to listen to these bodily messages, including the subtle signals from areas like the psoas, can provide valuable clues about our emotional well-being. Jung's work emphasized the importance of symbols as bridges between the conscious and unconscious mind. In a similar way, our physical sensations can serve as tangible symbols that help us access and understand our deeper emotional patterns. The tension in your psoas isn't just physical discomfort. It may be a symbolic representation of emotional experiences seeking resolution. The concept of complexes, clusters of emotionally charged ideas that influence our behavior, was another of Jung's significant contributions. These psychological complexes often manifest physically. A trauma complex might reveal itself through a chronically tight psoas, just as Jung observed that psychological complexes reveal themselves through emotional reactions and dreams. Jung understood that healing requires wholeness, bringing together the fragmented parts of ourselves into a more complete and integrated self. This psychological integration has its physical parallel in how the body functions best, when all parts work harmoniously together. A chronically tight psoas can disrupt this physical harmony, just as unaddressed emotional issues can disrupt psychological harmony. The journey toward wholeness that Jung described includes acknowledging and working through difficult emotions rather than avoiding them. Similarly, addressing physical tension requires turning toward discomfort rather than away from it. Both approaches share the understanding that avoidance prolongs suffering, while conscious engagement promotes healing. Jung recognized that the path to psychological health isn't about eliminating parts of ourselves, but about bringing them into relationship with the whole. Similarly, healing the psoas isn't about forcing it to relax, but about creating the conditions where it can naturally release into its proper relationship with the rest of the body. By understanding Jung's insights about the unconscious mind, we gain a framework for understanding how emotions might be stored in the body. Just as Jung found that bringing unconscious material into consciousness could lead to psychological healing, bringing awareness to physical tension can initiate physical healing. The two processes mirror each other, reflecting the profound connection between mind and body that Jung intuited throughout his work. This mind-body connection isn't just theoretical, it's experiential. As we explore the emotional dimensions of physical tension, we begin to recognize patterns. Moments of feeling unsafe might correspond with tightness in the psoas. Periods of anxiety might coincide with shallow breathing and core constriction. These patterns reveal how closely our emotional and physical experiences are interwoven. By the way, if you're curious to go even deeper and integrate your shadows and light, check out the SIM Method ebook. It's a concise guide that can help you unlock your inner power in just 5 minutes a day. The link is in the first pinned comment below. Your body speaks a language all its own. When your psoas muscle is holding on to stress and trauma, it sends signals that something needs attention. These signals aren't always obvious. They whisper rather than shout, and they often disguise themselves as everyday discomforts you might brush aside. The most common sign appears in how you move. A tight psoas can create a slight forward tilt in your pelvis, changing how you walk, stand, and sit. You might notice that standing tall feels like work rather than your natural state. Your lower back might arch more than it should, creating a subtle but persistent ache that follows you throughout your day. Morning stiffness tells an important story. If getting out of bed feels like your body needs time to warm up before it can move freely, your psoas might be holding tension. This stiffness isn't just about getting older. It often points to muscles that haven't fully relaxed even during sleep. Your body has remained partially braced against threats that exist only in memory. Your breathing patterns offer another window into the state of this muscle. Since the psoas connects to your diaphragm, tension here often leads to shallow chest breathing rather than deep belly breathing. You might not notice this restricted breath until you deliberately try to take a deep breath and feel resistance in your core. Digestive troubles sometimes connect to psoas tension too. This muscle runs close to the intestines, and chronic tightness can restrict normal digestive movement. Unexplained digestive discomfort, especially when stress makes it worse, might have roots in a tense psoas rather than just being about what you ate. Sleep disturbances often accompany a troubled psoas. The muscle's connection to your fight or flight response means that when it can't relax, neither can you. You might fall asleep easily, but wake during the night, or find yourself tossing and turning without understanding why your body won't settle. Emotional reactions provide especially important clues. Do you find yourself feeling anxious without a clear cause? Do certain situations trigger a physical sensation of tightness or heaviness in your belly or hips? These reactions might be your psoas responding to situations that echo past experiences stored in the muscle memory. Chronic fatigue sometimes stems from the constant energy your body expends maintaining muscle tension. When your psoas never fully releases, your nervous system remains partially activated, as if you're always on guard. This vigilance drains energy that should be available for living fully in the present. Pain patterns tell a particularly revealing story. Discomfort that moves between your lower back, hips, and legs, especially pain that changes based on how long you've been sitting or standing, often points to psoas issues. This muscle can refer pain to many areas, creating confusion about where the problem truly lies. your emotional reactions to certain movements might surprise you. Some yoga poses or stretches might bring up unexpected feelings of vulnerability or even tears. These emotional responses aren't random. They often emerge when a movement begins to release tension in areas holding emotional memory. Limited range of motion in your hips offers another clear sign. If bringing your knee to your chest feels restricted, or if you struggle with movements that require hip extension, your psoas might be holding tension. This limitation isn't just physical. It can reflect emotional patterns of holding back or bracing against life. The way you respond to stress provides valuable information too. If minor stressors trigger an outsized physical response, tension headaches, stomach tightness, or a feeling of being overwhelmed, your system may already be running near its capacity due to chronic muscle tension. Tests for psoas tension are surprisingly simple. Lying on your back and trying to bring one knee to your chest while keeping the other leg straight can reveal tightness. If the extended leg lifts off the floor, or if the movement causes discomfort, your psoas is likely contracted. Your posture while sitting gives away important clues. Many people with psoas tension slouch or lean to one side unconsciously, trying to find relief from the discomfort of sitting upright. This habit becomes so normal that you might not even notice it until someone points it out. The connection between these physical signs and emotional well-being isn't coincidental. Your body responds to your emotional history, and tension patterns reflect emotional patterns. By recognizing these signals, you gain insight not just into your physical condition, but into your emotional landscape as well. Learning to listen to these signals represents a shift from seeing your body as something separate from your mind to recognizing it as a source of wisdom about your whole self. This integrated approach honors what the body knows and treats physical sensations as meaningful communications rather than random discomforts to be ignored or suppressed. The journey from tension to release begins with a simple yet profound shift, turning toward what you've been unconsciously avoiding. The movement that can transform your relationship with the psoas isn't complicated, but its effects can reach far beyond the physical. This transformative movement starts with creating safety. Your psoas tightened originally to protect you, so before it can release, your nervous system needs to feel secure. Find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. Lie on your back on a comfortable surface with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. This position already brings some relief to the psoas by taking away the demand to hold you upright. Breath becomes your most powerful tool in this process. Begin by simply noticing your breathing without trying to change it. Observe where the breath moves in your body and where it doesn't. After a few minutes of observation, gently invite your breath to deepen, allowing your belly to rise with each inhale and fall with each exhale. This breathing pattern signals to your nervous system that it's safe to relax. Now comes the core of the movement. On an exhale, slowly draw one knee toward your chest, holding it there with your hands. The opposite leg remains in its bent position, foot on the floor. This position creates a gentle stretch for the psoas of the extended leg. Hold for several breaths, allowing gravity to do the work rather than forcing anything. What makes this movement different from an ordinary stretch is your attention. As you hold the position, notice any sensations that arise, not just in your hip and leg, but throughout your body. These sensations might include warmth, tingling, subtle pulsing, or even emotional feelings like sadness or relief. Whatever emerges, simply observe it with curiosity rather than judgment. The next step involves a gentle rocking motion. Still holding your knee, allow a small, slow rocking from side to side. This movement helps release tension in the surrounding tissues and signals to the muscle that it's safe to let go. The rocking needn't be large. Even tiny movements can create significant release. Throughout this process, be attentive to your breath. If you notice it becoming shallow or held, it signals that your nervous system may be activating in response to the release. When this happens, pause the movement and return to deep, slow breathing until you feel centered again. This responsiveness honors your body's pace and prevents re-traumatization. After working with one side, gently release the leg back to its starting position. Take a moment to notice any differences between the two sides of your body before repeating the process with the other leg. These differences provide valuable information about where you're holding tension and how it's beginning to shift. The final phase involves integration. After working with both sides, lie with both knees bent, feet on the floor, and observe the sensations in your body. Many people report feeling more grounded, with a pleasant heaviness or warmth spreading through the pelvis and legs. Others notice emotional shifts, a sense of relief, mild tearfulness, or unexpected calm. What makes this approach so powerful is that it works simultaneously on multiple levels. Physically, it creates space in tissues that have been chronically contracted. Neurologically, it interrupts patterns of tension that have become habitual in your nervous system. Emotionally, it provides a safe context for releasing feelings that may have been stored in the body. The transformation continues well beyond the movement itself. Many people notice changes in their posture, breathing, and energy levels after regularly practicing this release. Walking often feels more fluid, sitting more comfortable, and standing more natural. These physical changes reflect deeper shifts in how the body holds itself in the world. The psychological benefits often prove equally significant. As physical tension releases, many people report feeling more emotionally resilient, less reactive to stress, and more present in their daily lives. The hypervigilance that often accompanies trauma begins to subside, creating space for more authentic engagement with life. This process honors the body's wisdom and timing. Some releases happen quickly, with dramatic sensation and emotional release. Others unfold gradually over weeks or months of gentle practice. Both patterns are valid, and neither should be forced or rushed. Your body knows what it's ready to release and when. The strength that emerges through this work isn't just about physical capacity. It's about reclaiming the energy that has been bound up in holding tension. As your psoas releases old patterns, energy becomes available for new possibilities, not just in how you move, but in how you live. Every great story follows a pattern. The hero faces challenges, overcomes obstacles, and returns transformed. This same pattern unfolds when you begin working with the psoas muscle. What starts as a physical practice gradually reveals itself as something much deeper, a journey into the core of who you are and how you move through the world. The first stage of this journey often feels like awakening. For years, you may have lived with tension so familiar that it became invisible to you. Discovering the psoas and its role in your well-being can be like suddenly noticing background music that's been playing your entire life. This awareness alone can be transformative. What you can feel, you can begin to heal. As awareness deepens, many people experience what we might call the recognition phase. Here, connections between physical sensations and life experiences begin to emerge. A tightness that appears during certain conversations, a heaviness that accompanies specific memories. These connections aren't fabricated. They're revelations of patterns that have always been there, now finally coming into conscious awareness. The journey continues with what often feels like resistance. As you work with releasing the psoas, you might find yourself mysteriously forgetting to practice, feeling unusually tired or experiencing temporary increases in tension. This resistance isn't failure. It's a natural protective response. Your system has maintained these tension patterns for reasons that once made sense, and it needs time to trust that change is safe. The confrontation with resistance represents a crucial threshold on this journey. Crossing it requires compassion rather than force. Instead of fighting against your body's hesitation, you learn to meet it with curiosity. What is this resistance protecting? What might need to be acknowledged before release can happen? These questions invite a dialogue with your body rather than imposing demands upon it. Unexpected emotions often emerge as the journey deepens. Tears during a simple stretch, laughter bubbling up without obvious cause, sudden memories appearing during movement. These experiences reflect the emotional content that has been stored alongside physical tension. As the body releases, so too does the emotional energy that's been held with it. This emotional release doesn't always follow predictable patterns. It might come in waves, with periods of insight and release followed by integration and calm. It might emerge through dreams becoming more vivid or creative insights arising unexpectedly. The form varies from person to person, but the process of release and integration remains consistent. The transformative potential of this journey often appears in relationships. As inner tension patterns shift, many people find that their interactions with others change too. Boundaries become clearer. Triggers that once prompted automatic reactions lose their power. A new spaciousness emerges in which choice becomes possible where once there was only habitual response. Ancient wisdom traditions recognize this transformative potential. While these traditions use different language than modern psychology, they identified the hip area as a powerful center of energy and emotional processing. These traditions developed practices that, like the movement we've explored, create the conditions for release and integration. The midpoint of this journey often involves confronting deeper questions about identity. Who am I when I'm not braced against life? What becomes possible when old protective patterns release? These questions touch on what Jung called the process of individuation, the journey toward becoming more fully yourself by integrating aspects of experience that have been separated or denied. The insights gained through this body-centered exploration often ripple outward, influencing how you understand your life story. Periods of your life that seem disconnected begin to form a more coherent narrative. Choices that once seemed random reveal their underlying patterns. This increased coherence brings a sense of meaning even to difficult chapters of your experience. As the journey continues, many people report a shift in their relationship with vulnerability. Where once vulnerability felt dangerous, requiring protection through physical tension, it gradually becomes recognized as a source of authenticity and connection. The Psoas no longer needs to brace against the experience of being open because openness no longer feels threatening. The integration phase of this journey brings a new relationship with the body as a whole. Rather than experiencing your body as something to control, ignore, or overcome, you begin to recognize it as a wise ally in navigating life. Physical sensations become valuable sources of information rather than distractions or problems to solve. This shift extends to how you experience time. When chronic tension dominates, the body often feels stuck in past reactions or braced against anticipated futures. As the Psoas releases, many people report a greater capacity to be present in the current moment. The body becomes an anchor to now rather than a repository of then. The hero's journey always ends with return, bringing the gifts of the journey back to ordinary life. As your relationship with your Psoas transforms, the gifts include a more regulated nervous system, greater emotional resilience, and increased physical ease. But perhaps the greatest gift is the embodied knowledge that transformation is possible, that patterns once thought permanent can change. The work of releasing the Psoas isn't a one-time event, but an ongoing relationship. Having experienced the freedom that comes with release, the question becomes, how do we prevent new tension patterns from forming while continuing to integrate what's already there? The answer lies in developing practices that support integration on all levels, physical, emotional, and psychological. Daily movement forms the foundation of this integration. The psoas responds positively to gentle, mindful movement that encourages full range of motion without strain. Walking, especially on uneven natural surfaces like forest paths, helps the psoas find its natural rhythm. Swimming offers supportive movement that allows the psoas to work without the pressure of gravity. Dance invites creative expression while keeping the muscle responsive and fluid. Conscious rest proves equally important. The psoas needs periods of complete release to reset its tension patterns. The constructive rest position, lying on your back with knees bent and feet flat on the floor, gives the psoas optimal conditions for release. Just 15 minutes in this position daily signals to your nervous system that it's safe to let go. Breath awareness serves as a powerful tool for maintaining psoas freedom. The connection between this muscle and your diaphragm means that breath patterns directly influence psoas tension. Taking time throughout the day to notice and deepen your breathing helps prevent the shallow breathing patterns that both reflect and reinforce psoas tightness. Emotional processing plays a crucial role in keeping the psoas free. When new, stressful events occur, taking time to process the emotional impact helps prevent that stress from becoming stored as physical tension. This might involve journaling, talking with a trusted friend, or working with a therapist. Whatever helps you move emotional energy rather than containing it. Body scanning, the practice of systematically bringing awareness to different areas of your body, helps catch tension patterns before they become entrenched. A daily body scan, even just for 5 minutes, develops your ability to notice subtle changes in your physical state and respond before tension becomes chronic. The concept of shadow integration that Jung described offers valuable guidance here. Jung understood that what we don't acknowledge consciously doesn't disappear. It influences us from the shadows. Similarly, emotions we don't process don't vanish. They take up residence in the body. Regular self-reflection helps bring awareness to what might otherwise become unconsciously stored tension. Boundaries play a surprising role in psoas health. Many people develop tension in this muscle through chronically overriding their own limits, pushing through fatigue, ignoring warning signs of stress, saying yes when they mean no. Learning to honor your limits and communicate them clearly helps prevent the accumulation of resentment and overwhelm that can tighten the psoas. Community connection offers protection against new trauma storage. Humans evolved as social beings, and isolation triggers stress responses that tighten the psoas. Regular, meaningful connection with others helps regulate your nervous system and prevents the hypervigilance that leads to chronic muscle tension. Nature immersion provides another powerful integration practice. Time in natural settings has been shown to lower stress hormones and promote parasympathetic nervous system activity, the rest and digest state that allows the psoas to release. Even brief periods outdoors can help maintain the freedom you've cultivated in this muscle. Curiosity serves as a protective attitude for ongoing integration. When you notice tension arising, approaching it with curious attention rather than frustration helps prevent adding layers of reaction to the original stress. This curious attention allows you to respond skillfully to emerging tension rather than falling into habitual patterns. Sleep quality significantly impacts psoas health. During deep sleep, your muscles have the opportunity to fully release tension, and your nervous system processes the day's experiences, creating conditions for restful sleep. A dark, quiet environment, consistent sleep schedule, and calming bedtime routine supports ongoing psoas release. Nutrition also plays a role in maintaining psoas freedom. Chronic inflammation from dietary choices can increase muscle tension throughout the body, including the psoas. Anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, fatty fish, berries, and turmeric help create internal conditions that support muscle relaxation rather than contraction. Mindfulness practices help maintain awareness of the connection between your thoughts, emotions, and physical state. Regular meditation, even just 10 minutes daily, strengthens your ability to notice when thoughts or emotional states are creating physical tension, allowing you to intervene before that tension becomes chronic. The journey toward lasting integration brings you into an evolving relationship with your body and its wisdom. Rather than seeing the body as something to control or overcome, you develop a collaborative relationship with it, listening to its signals, respecting its needs, and working with rather than against its natural intelligence. This integrated approach honors what Jung understood about wholeness, that it comes not from eliminating parts of ourselves, but from bringing them into relationship with each other. Physical ease, emotional fluidity, and psychological insight aren't separate achievements, but aspects of the same unfolding process of becoming more fully human, more completely yourself.